As we experience tonight, as we experience each Sunday by worship, we discover that the Bible is full of many stories. So many kinds of stories. There are the kind that are good legends. They make for good legends. They make for great movies like Noah and Moses and David and Esther and Paul. And yes, even the greatest story ever told, the accounts of Jesus, which we call the Gospels, which means simply good news. We believe that God's Holy Spirit inspired every one of these texts, and then they were put together over 1,000 years from being told and sung and written down. And while there were other writings about God's people and about Jesus, these were the ones that God intends to help us inspire our faith and challenge our belief. But when it comes to our accounts about the birth of Christ, with all of the allusions to the words of the prophets and all the hints and reminders ahead in the epistles, the Gospels of Matthew and Luke and John each share a way of looking at Jesus' birth in a special and distinct way. And one of the struggles that people often have about the Gospels is they're all telling about the same person. But they each do it with so much personal perspective that they frustrate a forensic approach to reading the Gospels. Well, why is so-and-so's account different from so-and-so's account? Why are they not corroborating each other? Why didn't they sit down and make sure that they were all telling the same story to back up each other's view? Matthew and John are both offering, in their own ways, first-hand accounts. This is what they saw. This is the impression that the birth of Christ put on them. This is what they heard. This is what they experienced. But their views are different. The way they express those events are different. But when it comes to the birth of Christ, there is no evidence that wise men and shepherds and tax collectors, or even Mary and Joseph, or Zechariah and Elizabeth were taking notes. But Luke mentions from all of these something very special, saying, "But Mary treasured all these things and pondered them in her heart." So inasmuch as we have shared and celebrated the Christmas story, and in our hymns and from our lessons from the Bible, I want to invite you to be like the woman who bore Christ into the world, who God chose to be called blessed, and to share in her blessing by pondering this evening's words in your heart. Find your good news in Jesus Christ, and before you share it with the world, ponder and treasure it and treat it like a treasure. And what the birth of Christ means for you is something uniquely special for your family and for your friends. And then go forth like the shepherds and the angels and share the good news to all the world if you can, as God has given it to you. And let that be your inspiration in all of your giving this Christmas and in the year to come. I'm going to invite a very special reader to come forward now.